Resident Evil Resistance. Do you enjoy the slow-paced, atmospheric gameplay of Resident Evil? Do you love the memorable, charismatic characters of the Resident Evil series? And do you like the satisfying micromanagement of items and exploration? Of course not! That'd be boring. You want a multiplayer PvP experience with loot boxes, floaty gunplay, and everyone's favourite demographic of people? Hipsters! Fucking hipsters! Right, that might have been a little bit harsh. So what is Resident Evil Resistance? Well, you play as one of 4 survivors with a unique character which comes with their own abilities like kneeling. Fucking kneeling. Fucking kneeling! This lassie's ability, right, are you watching? It's to fucking kneel! Or, alternatively, you can play as a mastermind, where you are tasked with stopping the other 4 survivors in an elaborate game of whack-a-mole. I'm gonna be honest, this game's a fucking mess, not in terms of bugs and that, but more the fact that it looks like a panorama of one of Michael Jackson's sexual fantasies. But, I would be lying if I said it wasn't fun. Right. Hear me out. The idea, right, is good. The execution, well, it's not great. This game is pretty much Resident Evil's attempt at making a game like Dead by Daylight with the Resident Evil gameplay loop inserted. I've played both games and I'm probably going to get absolutely violated for saying this, but I think Resident Evil Resistance is more enjoyable than Dead by Daylight. I probably just broke my mic doing that. The inherent gameplay of this thing is pretty fun. The satisfying gameplay loop of progressing through these maps, which have been littered with zombies, traps and this fucking thing. Looking for items for your own survival and to progress with the difficulty of enemies increasing in the later stages as you get better weaponry. This gameplay loop can actually be pretty addicting, with the in-game progression of buying new weapons and gear. With Resident Evil, bitcoins you've gathered through the map is pretty satisfying, with all weapons carrying their own strengths and weaknesses with advantages on certain characters, and deciding which weapons you're gonna go for can be pretty fun, but that's about it, I guess. Overall, there isn't much content with about 4 maps and a few playable characters on both sides, and the maps, well, they're passable. Nothing that's going to blow you away. They work for the game mode. They mostly consist of close quarter maze-like maps where you'll be walking through tight corridors with multiple dead ends, allowing the mastermind to place easy traps and to corner you. I do, however, find the maps pretty restrictive, which suits the mastermind gameplay, of course, but this results in a more repetitive experience. Although there is a small cast of playable characters, jokes aside, they actually all play pretty differently, offering different playstyles, especially the masterminds, which can really shake up the game depending on which character and build they're using. This game is chaotic fun. Sure, the gunplay is floaty with guns not throwing the same satisfying punch as the base game, because enemies just straight up don't react to your bullets and they'll just fucking die. And if they do, it's just they react in the fucking weirdest ways. It doesn't feel like it's your fucking bullets penetrating their skulls. But the fact that it's so bad shit crazy actually makes it kinda fun. You know, having Mr. X playing musical chairs with you whilst you're on a glorified Easter egg hunt, now that was on my fucking bucket list right there. I think overall it's a pretty decent add-on, providing some mindless fun for a few hours, and I'm sure this would be more enjoyable with some mates, but Steven only plays Kung Fu Panda, so he was unavailable for this. However, I will say one of the major problems with a game like this is how dependent the experience is on other players, because you could end up against one of the worst masterminds on the entire fucking planet, and the game would end up being a glorified walking simulator. Or alternatively, you could get someone who is way beyond the skill of any fucking survivor, making it look like the biggest clusterfuck you've ever seen in your life. I don't know why you'd have seen a lot of clusterfucks, but it's a big clusterfuck. The game is fun, however, with the lack of content and the lack of good solid progression and the inconsistency of the matches you're going to be playing, it really is only fun for a couple of hours, and then there's no really incentive to keep playing. I think the main problem with this game, however, is this is the exact opposite of what the fucking Resident Evil fans fucking wanted. Most of the hardcore Resident Evil players and the people who like Resident Evil games, this doesn't really fucking appeal to them. They love the single player aspects, and like having additions like mercenaries modes and cool additions to the single player campaign to change it up would be so much more preferred than this tacked on multiplayer, which is kinda a shame for a lot of the Resident Evil fans. And the worst thing about this is you can't buy this game separately, so to the demographic of people that are actually interested in this type of gameplay, they have to buy Resident Evil 3 to get this fucking game. And there's just this massive fucking separation. I think the best way would have been to make Resident Evil 3 separately and make it as good as fucking possible, bulk it up with more content, and then make Resident Evil Resistance a side project and make it like a 10 quid indie game with a live service, and that would fucking work. That would have been so much better and much more appreciated by the community, because people who are buying Resident Evil 3 for the campaign don't feel like they're getting cheated on as they've got more content and not this tacked on multiplayer that they're never going to play. And the people who it does appeal to, well, they can just get the game separately and have their fun. Alright, Shite-O-Meter, Resident Evil, where are you going to be, Sam? Well, you kinda dug shite. Fucking hell! What the fuck's in there? What the fuck is that? Jill! Where the fuck did you get that? You get in it, and she gets him, alright? She gets that fucking mad lad with a mental arm. Daniel gets Tyra. Holy shit, he gets Mr. fucking X. He's banging. This lassie, not as good, but this thing, that's fucking scary. You know? You don't want fucking hands and plants trying to rape you. And then Spencer, he's got a... What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Like, a laser barrier? All these cunts, oh, they have something cool, but no, Spencer, he's got a fucking gate because he's a fucking mad lad. I swear, someone could be breaking into my house right now. I wouldn't know. The PlayStation makes that much noise.
For the undead in this area, we get them hungry for you. In case you
I swear, these guys keep running into explosives. Like, come on. Oof! I deserve that, don't I? Oh.